Today's daily recap for BTG Beyond the Gates is for Friday, May the 9th, 2025. That's all right episode. Danny, see, that woman can't wait for any opportunity to talk to Bill. She going in there, you messed with my family, your involvement with Ted and what he did to my sister. And Bill is like, hey. Ted came to me. Ted came to me for help, and I helped him. She goes, but Ted cheated on my sister. That was my family. And you didn't tell me. He goes, of course I didn't tell you. I made a judgment call. Ted loves Nicole and he made a mistake. And yes, I helped him. But did you threaten? He goes, look, I did whatever was necessary to get the job done. What kind of despicable? And he goes, no, let me tell you something. See, when we were married, Danny, for decades, your family was my family. And when your family came to me for help, like they frequently did, for my brand of help, I gave it to him. She looked, she goes, no, you're practice, you would be chasing back to diminishing his accomplishments with his practice. She goes, and you talk about my family coming to you. What other things have you done allegedly for my family? Because I know you never do nothing unless it benefits you. He goes, want to know what else I've done? He said, why don't you go to the almighty Anita and Vernon Dupree and you ask them what kind of things did they have me do in the name of the Duprees? So anyway, they yell a little bit more and he tells her, you know what, Danny, get to stepping, right? Don't let the door hit you. So I thought Danny didn't need to go over there. So Ted calls Martin to come over, not Martin, Smitty. And Smitty says, okay, so what is this summons all about? He says, I'm here. Oh, I hear you going back to you're back to reporting. He goes, I always thought you were a really good reporter, Martin. Smitty, glad to hear it. He goes, you ain't calling me over here to congratulate me. What do you want? So he says, I want you to talk to your husband. And you let him know that we could be mutually beneficial to one another. And you let him know he needs to remember how beneficial I have been. And Smitty said, what is that supposed to mean? And so Bill said, just tell Martin, he'll know what it means. See, by Bill, look, I don't know what Bill wants from Martin. He wants something underhanded from Martin, right? That he's going to this much trouble. So by him getting to Smitty and Smitty gonna say, you know what, Bill called me over and he said for me to tell you XYZ, you'll know what it means. Smitty's gonna say, what does it mean? And then Martin's gonna lie. He ain't gonna tell him what it means. But what it's gonna do is let him know, oh, Bill could have told Smitty right then and there what Martin had done in the past. That was a message saying I could get to whoever and tell him about you, buddy. So you better play ball. So Nicole, Andre goes to see Ted in the hotel room, brings some Hennessy or whatever, some brown alcohol, cognac, Hennessy, brandy, whatever it was. And um, he's talking and he's saying, he just really wished that, this wouldn't have happened. And Ted's like, nephew, this ain't your fault, and blah, blah, blah. I made a mess of my family, but I got to figure out how to get them back together again. And Andre says, and Nicole, I think she's gonna forgive you. He goes, look, if you could figure out a way, let me know. And so Andre says, I just might have something. So he goes, I'll catch you later, Uncle. So he leaves, and I'm thinking, Andre, if you seem to think you, please. So he goes to Nicole and he apologizes to her for what happened. And he ends up telling her, he goes, had I told you earlier, she goes, wait, you knew what Ted did? He goes, your Uncle Ted confided in me because he was in a bad way. And he just felt really, really bad about this. And he said recently, not that he's known for years, right? He goes, and if I would have just said something or told him, urged him to say something. She goes, Andre, this is not your fault, and I don't blame you. Your uncle put you in a rock and a hard place, making you choose. Either staying on his side or betraying his confidence. He goes, no, I do not blame you. And then, of course, bestie Vanessa comes and, oh, Nicole, and they hug. And she only kicks it with Vanessa for a little hot mess minute. And she goes, you know what, Nicole, I'm white. I really need some time alone. So, not Nicole, it was Vanessa. So Vanessa says, okay. And she says, listen, Vanessa, I'm having food delivered. Can you just leave the door ajar? So she goes, okay. So she leaves the door ajar, and I said, oh, somebody unwanted's gonna walk in. I knew it, right? Because I'm sorry, Nicole, you have a state-of-the-art house. You got Ring, you got cameras. So when the delivery people were gonna come, you can look at your phone and say, go ahead and leave it on the porch. I'll pick it up. Thank you. That's all you had to do. You don't leave your door ajar. You don't know that delivery person. So when she heard the doorbell, she goes, can you just leave the food right inside the door, please? And then in comes Leslie walking in. And I thought, oh, she got some nerve. See? And Nicole looks at her and she stands up. She goes, what are you doing in my home? She goes, are you hungry? She goes, how did you get behind the gates? She goes, Eva gave me the code. So she goes, oh, I'm going to have them changed immediately. So then she says, she goes, now get out of my house. And she goes, you really need to hear what I have to say. And I'm thinking, what lie is Leslie going to tell? So then I saw scenes for next week, and it looks like she's gonna try to make it look like it's Eva that ran Leslie off the road. See, that ain't no kind of mother. That is absolutely no kind of mother. But anyway, that's the way the scenes made it look. That doesn't mean that that's how, but I think that's what she's gonna do, because I guess apparently she saw Eva and Ted going out for breakfast or dinner, whatever she sees them, father daughter, and she pissed. Oh no, you put her out in the street. You said go have your father take care of you. How could you be pissed, Leslie? How could you be pissed? So now we have Martin goes to see Ted because he finds out from Smitty, oh, the homeless story. And do not get me wrong with this statement. I do care about our homeless crisis in the United States. But this storyline, just to me, just my own personal taste, it's boring. And I'm not interested in it, right? So I fast forwarded. So I'm just letting you all know that's not a part of the story I'll be following on Beyond the Gates. So if anybody wants to comment in Comment Corner whenever they're dealing with the homeless storyline, please comment in Comment Corner so people can read about it. They might be interested in it. That's all I got to say. Help Daily Recap Lady out with that, because I ain't doing it. I just don't care, right? I my time is too valuable to deal with where they're going with that. We got enough interesting storylines to talk about. Then anyway, I'm done with that. So Danny comes sashaying into her parents' house, saying she just came from Bill's house and she had to let him have it for messing into pre-business and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, Danny, we wish you would leave Bill alone. No, I had to let him know. And that Ted Richardson is next. So sure enough, at the end, it shows her, or that was either in the scenes for next week or at the end of today's episode, she come knocking on Ted's hotel room door. But Martin had already been there. And oh, he's telling his dad what for, what, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, what? You don't have nothing to say for yourself? And Ted go to open his mouth because blah, blah, blah. And ain't nothing you can say. You've did. And Ted just looking at him. And then he goes, okay, look, I'm here to listen. So what do you have to say for yourself? So Ted just looks at him and like, I made a mistake decades ago. I love you. I know he goes, I love my family. I most certainly love my wife. Now, whether you want to accept that or not, like I have no control over that. But I just want you to know I'm going to do everything I can to put this family back together. And Martin, hot-headed, says something else as he's walking by, and Ted says, Martin, I love you, son. Martin just looked at him. It's like Martin didn't know what to say. It was like kind of shook him a bit. He was ready to, hopefully Ted would spout off so they could fight, but Martin, Martin just didn't know what to say. And he left like, wasn't expecting him to say that, man. Right? So he left. Let me see. I think that's it. Nothing else. Oh no. Remember Kat and Tomas were supposed to meet at Uptown. So she's there and she gets a call from the shipper for their shipment of their purses. There's a problem. So she goes, I'll be right there. So as she's getting ready to walk out, Tomas walks in. He goes, wait, you leaving? She goes, no, I just gotta handle this quick shipping crisis, Tomas. Can you please get us a table? I will be right back. He goes, okay. So she leaves, and I said, oh, this is going to give Eva an opportunity to walk up. Bingo, there she goes, walking right in through the door. But she sits at a separate table, and Tomas is sitting at another table, but they can see each other, right? But she's not looking at him. She's just, I don't know what she was doing. She's just not looking at him, and he looking at her. So he gets up, and he says, can I join you? And she says, you know what? I'm really, really not good company today. I'm not in the mood. And he goes, well, I'm gonna sit down for a minute. He sits down and he says, I pegged you really wrong. I didn't know that you were capable of such destruction. And he says something else, and she goes, wow. She says, a lot of people have had a lot to say, but for you to come over and want to cut me down in such a, I think she said elegant way, or whatever way she said, she goes, I didn't expect that. She said, especially from you. So she goes, like I said, I'm not in the mood. I'm getting ready to go because I don't want to break down in this restaurant right now. I can't. Right? So she goes to stand up, and he grabs her hand. He goes, no, stay. I want to know how you could do this. I mean, I want to hear your side. So she's holding his hand, he's holding hers, and she's talking to him. And of course, you see who's in the background, walked in, Kat. She sees them, sees they're holding hands, looking at each other. See, remember what she told Tomas yesterday? Promise, oh, actually, no, it was this morning at breakfast. Promise me you'll have nothing to do with her. You won't even speak to her again. But Tomas never said okay. His phone rang and he had to leave. So I thought, watch, let's see if she has a tissy fit and goes over stomping. She didn't. She just looked at him them as she turned and she walked away. And I thought, well, that was a smart thing, not to get emotional over it. Bottom line, you just found out your father cheated on your mother. You've been seeing and noticing a vibe between Tomas and Eva. You know it, Cat. You see it. Let him go. Let him go. Because you, remember, you've been saving your virginity for the right person. He's kind of showing he ain't that right person. He might be a great friend, but he's showing he's interested in Eva. Let him go. Let him have her. Don't, Cat. So we'll see. We'll see what Cat does later. Um, that's it. That's it that happened today. Nothing else that I'm going to comment on. I'm going to go to comment corner, comment corner. Let me pull that up right now, everybody. Got to go to Beyond the Gates. All right. Here we go. We have Belinda says, recap lady, I agree with you that Nicole will forgive Eva once she gets past the shock. I believe Dana slash Leslie put one of her many wigs on and dressed up as a nurse when Nicole went into labor, and she had paternal twins and took one of the babies. Could be. I feel sad for Eva, and was pleased that Ted didn't turn his back on her. Me too. I like that part. I laughed about what you said about Haley's outfit. I guess since she was at home, that was her lounge wear. Really? Okay. Thanks, Daily Recap. Thanks, Recap Lady, for this great recap. Have a blessed, highly favored weekend. See you soon. Thank you so much, Belinda. Ronald said Leslie's real goal is replace Nicole as Ted's wife. Yes, it is. Ronald also said Haley's dresses like someone who suddenly has a lot of money and doesn't have any taste. You're right. And Ron also said, did Nicole ask Eva to give back her key? She should have. I know. Come on now. You forgot that. Well, Danny threw her on out too fast, right? Lucy said, I enjoyed Thursday, May 8th, BTG. Will Nicole forgive her husband, Ted? Ted really should have told his wife, Nicole, that sex only happened one time with Dana. But Ted's son Martin remembers visits to see the waitress at dinner on numerous occasions. Yep, I don't believe it only happened once. Ted had plenty of opportunities to head off this disaster. He chose um, silence instead. Wrong move, Ted. And then Lucy says to Winter, yes, plus Ted got Bill involved. Now, the only thing I can say about if it happened one time, because he could have just been attracted to her and was trying to pretend it was innocent by having his son with him. And if it happened one time and miraculously Leslie got pregnant, then I think we are going to be dealing with a stolen embryo situation. I do believe that. But what was her end game? Get pregnant and keep a kid for 2 decades and then see, come on, that didn't make no sense. But then again, Leslie's crazy, right? And then Lynn says hi. Wendy says, sorry I missed today's episode, but I'm so thankful for your recap. Give me the details. There you go, Wendy. Black Purple Turquoise says, I must be love the way Danny dismissed Haley in her own house with Bill. Ha ha. That was priceless. I can't wait for her and Pamela to start up their own talent scout agency and leave father and child bride in the dust permanently. That will be fun to that'll be a fun episode to watch eventually in the future, and I'll be there for it. All right, everybody, that's it. That's it. Black, purple, turquoise. Have a good graduation day tomorrow. That's all from Comic Corner. I will be back on Monday with another daily recap for Beyond the Gates.